confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. The Montreal Canadiens should be buyers at the deadline.
Not buyers. I'm denying it. If you don't want to sell some pieces and you signed Evans, if you don't want to get rid of Savard, you can just stand pat and say, you know what, well, because if you're just dumping guys for third-round picks, although it's a tough one because there's all different kinds of scenarios. Like if a guy's got a year or two left and you don't really want him around and somebody wants him, then go ahead and get rid of him. But I don't think they should be sellers where they're just like, take anything you want. They got to give those guys some kind of chance to break through.
I'm denying it. I think they stay with the course. I made my case in the 4 o'clock or in the first segment. I think they've had an up and down season, but kind of where we believe they would be, playing meaningful minutes. I don't think you start changing the course and grabbing somebody to add here and there, unless again it comes back to what I was saying. If it makes sense, if you can get somebody with term. Well,
that's it, Noodles. Like, let's say Buffalo is – now, that's a difficult one because they're within the division and they've kind of been on par with each other. But, Buffalo, I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea what Buffalo thinks they're doing, what they think they have, where they think they're going. But let's say, Dylan Cousins is available, right?
Oof,
like, after Suzuki –
be a lineup for that
That's
guy.
the thing. Like, Doc, I think, is a guy that they're not going to really rely on. Jake Evans is a guy that he's further down the lineup. Dvorak's going to get flushed out. Like that, I could sell a confirm on that if it's more about the future than it is a rental. A rental, I'm a deny on that, clearly.
Right.
But
it's
return, I would be a confirm.
It's a great point, but again, what do you have to give up for a guy of Cousins? Because Buffalo has made it clear that they don't need any more draft picks and futures. They need live players to be better.
What a crazy scenario they're in, guys, Buffalo.
I
like
understand.
Rumblings of guys not happy with the winning culture and what a vicious cycle, man.
It's an awful cycle.
But they've got pieces. I'll give you an example. Bowen Byram. This kid's 23. Now, yes, he's had a few concussion issues, but he's a nice player. Like, he might be a top pairing defenseman, and they've already got Dahlin there and Power there. So maybe he ends up, at best, their number 3 if those other guys. I mean, I think Dahlin's
these guys just got him. Like, that's what I don't understand.
That. But what I'm saying
they got rid of Middlestad to get him.
Just got him.
But Middlestad is, I don't know, he's a talented player. I still thought that was weird for Colorado to add him in the 2-hole there. But
what is Cousins, though? What do you think Cousins projects as? Do you think he's got bona fide number 2 centerman in that league?
Yes, I do.
I think he can be a number 2. Yeah.
I do. I think he has a chance to be a really good player in the league. Listen, I think he's got to continue to fill out. He's got to get better. There's details of his game, but at 24 years old, I believe he is. Man, like that's somebody I would take a
Did you see Kotkaniemi fight him the other day?
That was crazy.
I could not believe my off the draw.
Yeah.
What is
like Eric Lindros style? Like, I'm going to kill you right now.
And credit to Kotkaniemi, man. He held his own in there. Like,
damn right he did. There's guys like that where you have no idea, and if you think they're a wussy or something, I did it myself. I missed 6 weeks because I thought a guy was a wussy from the Quebec League, and he knocked my head right off.
Yeah, like that's a win by Kotkaniemi, man. Like that's a win, and that. Like, look at him fired up. He can't believe in the Whalers jersey too.
Yeah, the Whaler jersey was a nice touch. I thought that always looks great. But okay, so if Buffalo decides, I agree that the only way I can agree with it, not deny it, is if they do something for the future and grab another player of that ilk, like a high-end guy who's in mid-20s at best.
Right, that adds to the core and is a part of the future.
Yeah.
All right, confirm or deny, the Dallas Maverick fans have the right to be labeled the most pissed-off fan base in North American sports.
Dude, 100% confirm. And what I was trying to get to before somebody cut my audio back at the studio, that injury is going to lie right at the feet of that GM, man. They're going to be like, you really suck now. Now Kyrie's hurt. And look how good Luka's playing with L.A. Have you seen him dialed in there?
They're on fire, man.
Throwing down the court alley-oops to LeBron.
Well, that's what's amazing. He's revitalized LeBron. LeBron was playing really well anyway. You can see LeBron's alive, man. Like at 40, the guy's playing unbelievable. But
that injury looks awful.
That's an ACL. That's a blown out ACL. Like Kyrie's done for a long time. Street clothes. You have no idea when he's going to play. They got pumped by Portland last night. They're still going to make the playoffs because Phoenix is a mess. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think. What I will say is, if Luka was still there and Kyrie blew his knee out, they'd still be in big trouble. Like, they'd be in big trouble. Kyrie's been a huge part of their program. But I'm actually going to deny this because we just referenced the Buffalo Sabre fan. Like, Maverick fans, I get why you're angry. You deserve to be angry. Luka was your guy, and they traded him, and now it's a mess. You were in the NBA Finals last year. If you're a Sabre fan, they've been in the playoffs in like 14 years. What if you're a Cleveland Brown fan? You're looking at Dallas saying, are you serious complaining to me? I'm a Browns fan. How dare you suggest you're on my level?
Sabres? 14 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Long time. Like, we're talking Chris Drury, like Danny Briere era, I think, right? Maybe just after that, but it's been a long time.
Just think of it. I started doing this job 14 years ago, and they haven't been in the playoffs
Never covered the Sabres in the playoffs. Never.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the same boat as you since I've been here at DSN. I've never teed up a Sabres playoff series. Yeah. Not once. That is staggering.
And it's not happening this year. I mean, it just,
not even close.
The thing is haven't we lumped the Sabres fans in that they got the Bills there?
Somewhat.
Or do you just have to, because this Maverick, like, that's a mess down there, and people should be pissed off. They traded a superstar in his prime, not even at his prime yet.
And love being there, too. Love Dallas.
They should be the most pissed off. Because I think Sabres fans have agreed, like, they've kind of come to terms with it going, okay, it's another, like, this Dallas situation.
It's
that's
sharp.
It's
very
sharply.
acute. It's an acute feeling right now. Confirm or deny, the Winnipeg Jets should be aggressive to make moves before the trade deadline.
There's no other answer for this than confirm. I don't like the idea of screwing with the chemistry with a team that's played so well, but I think you do the best you can to go out and get a couple of really good players. Like, do you remember the year that Colorado, they kind of went out and got some veterans at the day. They got Lehkonen, they got Cogliano, they got Manson.
Yeah, they won the Cup that year.
Yeah. If they could do something similar to that, where it's like veteran, real kind of gamer, older guy that really wants to play for something. If you could do that, then go ahead. But there's only one answer, and it's confirm. You can't deny this and say, nah, just roll it out. Like,
you're right. But if you look at the deadline, some of their acquisitions are still there. Remember, they got Niederreiter at the deadline. I think they got Nemestikov at the deadline. So you need to continue to add to it. I agree. I think they have to. I confirm. They have to add to this group. And it's not only just depth. It's more just if you can find a piece that'll help put you over the top, and maybe it pushes, they've got Colin Miller as their sixth defenseman. Maybe it's somebody who is a better defenseman than Miller and push up and help with that depth. If they expect to go deep into the playoffs, they're going to need depth. And, teams that have had success, you knock on wood for them. But injuries do happen over the course of a season and deep into the playoffs. They need more depth there, and they need guys like Ehlers to stay healthy. I think Ehlers is unrestricted, is he not? What's his deal?
I believe he's coming up. Yeah,
right.
That's so part of it too. Like, who are you going to get for the future?
Right. That's a potential own rental right there, because there's no guarantee that Ehlers is coming back. So I think they should go all in. Because what are you waiting for? Scheifele's not getting younger, Hellebuck's not getting younger, and they're both having great seasons. And that's the guys that committed to that organization.
Yeah, I would confirm it too. I mean, they went all in last year and went out and got Sean Monahan and Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah, that's right.
And they weren't as good of a team, and they were going to have a much more difficult matchup in the first round, which they ended up losing. Here, they're going to win the division in the conference. They're going to be the top seed. Unless all hell breaks loose, but they have like an 8-point buffer right now. So you're going to play, and we've talked about it all day and all week, you're going to play Calgary or Vancouver or Utah. Like, that is as close to a layup as a team can get. It's not a formality. It's not a guarantee. That's why you play the games, and it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. But that sets up beautifully if you're Winnipeg. And I agree, it's a confirm. They love their top line, and they should. Like Connor, Scheifele, Velarde, it's a great top line. Velarde moves around a little bit, but I like that line. The third line's outstanding. I don't think you're going to improve on Nemestikov up the middle of the ice personally. I don't think Scott Laughton's a better player or Brock Nelson even, but I think Cole Perfetti's been getting some time there. I'd move him down the lineup. He's a young kid. If you can bring in Besser or Ricard Raquel or something like that.
What if the team answers the phone and says we want Perfetti?
Well, that's going to be intriguing. And if I'm like Pittsburgh,
if they go big game hunting, someone's going to say, "Give us Perfetti."
If I'm Pittsburgh and Ricard Raquel, who's got term left on his deal, he's having a very good year.
Yeah,
that's what I would be asking for. I need youth. But honestly, if you're Winnipeg and if Perfetti's not going to play in that spot, where is he going to play? Like, he's not moving Appleton or Niederreiter off that third line.
Yeah, that third line's not going anywhere.
You don't want him necessarily on your fourth line. I think they like what they have there with Iafallo and, Kupari. Exactly. I mean, maybe he can, and he's a high pick and a good talent. He's had a pretty good year. But that's the question. Do you put Perfetti out there for trade?
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
Yeah. It's crazy how teams got to start paying their players, and who they start dumping is the Niederreiter, Appleton, kind of that area, Barkley, Goudreau, and every team that wants to win, guess what they want to bring in? Mm-hmm. That same guy.
Like that.
Those guys, exactly.
No, Tampa did it. They brought in the whole third line.
Yeah, that's right.